Courage and love. What is courage and why is it rare? Why do most attach to the group and move in lockstep with it? Why is it the freaks who scare those types and then go their own way usually have to follow the pathway of endless rejections until the breakthrough of innovation finally lands? Only the freaks will innovate. Whether it's ever accepted in their lifetime or not is another thing entirely. I think of Van Gogh, who sold like one painting to his brother before he shot himself in the stomach and left this mortal coil. Maybe courage is rare because its rewards are scattered on a chaotic spectrum, rolling the dice on oblivion's table in a game most aren't even paying attention to. Most just want to get by. And so if the world goes insane, they'll just go insane along with it. The path of least resistance and all that. I guess it is easier that way, at least superficially speaking. But as far as courage is concerned, I think it finds us as much as we find it. It's like love in that way, a quality so thick that it becomes an entity on its own, and then a passenger looking for a ride in the soul of a man who's got an empty seat within. In a way, we get haunted by courage and love, motivating engines that will make our lives better ultimately, but not before they cause all kinds of problems, even risking our lives entirely. Courage, like love, is something that happens to us if we've turned ourselves into fertile ground for it, if we're not all the way shut down. And I'm, I guess, wrong about being a passenger, because also, like love, it really becomes the driver. It tells us where to go, and it opens new roads we couldn't see before. And there's a reason it's called courage, because it tends to piss a bunch of people off. But our choices here are to fit in and blend like beige or gray, or stand way out and remain way out of line, and hopefully in a good way, hopefully. So obviously with words like courage and love, they stretch to every facet of our lives, and entire books could be written about either word, and many already have been. But for the sake of this, let's limit it to how these words work together and pertain to our creative output. Because it takes courage and it takes love to really do something great. Love must be the primary fuel source. Fear can be a motivator, but fear is a bad fuel for the long journey of making a book or an album or a series of paintings or a YouTube channel or whatever it is that will take longer than a weekend to complete. We need fuel and plenty of it, and it's got to be love. Love is the gas and courage is the oil of this engine. Love is the fuel that gives back more fuel. Love, because love leads to purpose. Love tells us to remember to ask to be of service and pushing ourselves to places where we can actually give value. Love is like the high school valedictorian who invites her shady boyfriend called Courage to the party or the dance, because love takes courage. On the surface of society, love is encouraged, of course, but actual love is really a revolutionary act, because actual love questions the status quo and creates dramatic shifts from the personal to the global. It actually flies in the face of the powers that be and the structure of things. And so courage is needed for love. Courage and love are like twin flames. Courage will allow us to be different, which is the benchmark of actual creativity. One could argue that there is no real creativity without courage and without love. If we aren't afraid, if we aren't risking rejection, then are we even attempting to move the ball down the field at all, or are we simply standing in place, becoming society's mirror? So how do we get kidnapped by courage and love? I'm a broken record with every solution to every creative problem. I'm a one-trick pony, because all most self-help books will do is pinpoint a problem, describe the problem, and tell you to stop doing the thing that causes the problem, with maybe a vague psychological explanation as to why you are causing a problem, and then go no further or deeper than that. They deal with the symptom and nothing more. An example would be problem, procrastination. Psychological insight. It comes from fear. Solution, address fear and stop procrastinating. The end. That's about as deep as it usually goes, essentially guiding the reader into a dark forest without really giving them a roadmap out, describing the problem in detail and the obvious reasons behind it, telling us to act differently, describing what acting differently would look like without ever telling us how to act differently, how to get under the actual hood of the problem. No real solution given, and I think there's a good reason for that. The actual solution takes courage to give, and yes, our psychological makeup has a lot to do with our actions here, or lack thereof, obviously, but in my opinion, beyond all that is the spiritual realm. This is where qualities like courage and love are hanging out and having a dance party. And most won't address this realm, or do so only vaguely, because it's controversial and it offends. And it takes actual courage, because when you bring the spiritual realm and the power of prayer, especially aiming at the hip art world or whatever, you're gonna get called names. Courage 101, learn to not care about getting called names. I have been attacked so relentlessly online, pile-ons actually, that I really don't register it anymore. And this is a good thing, you get used to anything. But back to the spirit and the actual solution to love and courage, and how to make them ride shotgun in your vehicle in the buddy cop movie of your dreams' fulfillment. Pray for it. Pray to overcome strongholds. Combine prayer and action. Ask to be fearless. Pray to overcome fear. The power of prayer builds, and if we stick to it long enough, we feel energetic shifts when we do it. Prayer is shrouded in terrible PR, public relations, for a reason. Because its real power is massive, and because it's the main weapon we have in the spiritual war we are in. Like a light going down dark roads, prayer has the power to shift things, to heal damaged psychologies, to return courage to us, and invite love in as our fuel. Everything that limits us, we can pray on, and with consistency and a little bit of faith, watch it shift and break open old cages. It takes courage and love to leave those cages, even when the doors are wide open. But when we finally realize the danger of staying inside them is more than venturing beyond where we've been, that's when we begin to invite love and courage in. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell me how you overcome fear and get courage and love to ride shotgun. Peace.